All right, guys, we have about a minute if you want to take your seats, and we'll get started.
Just like council.
Come on in, grab a seat. Hey, Tony.
See, Mayor?
You get around.
He does. I see him on Facebook.
So I represent, right?
Well, that's good. We got a good house going now.
We do.
If I had to put those chairs away.
Good. We can also pull from in there if we need to.
The chief is.
Chief is doing it. The chief's doing it. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our first listening session. If you haven't already met me, my name is Tara Marshall. I'm the city manager, joined with Cy Michaels, Madam Mayor. Madam Mayor and the City Council has been seated for about 2 weeks. One of the priorities that Mayor Michaels talked to me about when she was initially elected is community outreach, meeting the community in spaces outside of our regularly scheduled meetings gives us an opportunity to have dialogue. I want to introduce Councilmember Dan Rossetti, who's in the back, and be sure and say hello to him as well. We are live streaming. So just so you're aware, we are being live streamed. So Madam Mayor and I are going to sit so we can take notes. It's really important that we hear from you. It's kind of uncomfortable sitting and talking, but we want to be sure that we're able to get a volume of notes. When you ask us a question, we're going to repeat it before we answer so that those that are watching are able to hear from you. Now, we came with no agenda, and our hope was that we would have an opportunity to hear from you what you think the issues are in the community right now. Maybe provide us with some context on those issues, or give us some ideas about where you think our community is going. No topics off limits. We're happy to talk about the butterfly release at the library that's up and coming, for sure. We're happy to talk about anything that you want to talk about. So I'm going to take a seat. Mayor, do you want to say a few words before we get started?
First of all, thanks for all coming. I mean, this is what makes a community, is when we can gather like this and figure out what some of the issues are and work them out together. I know most of the faces in the room, but I don't know everyone. And I know it will take a second, but maybe it would be really great that everybody would address who they are and their one passion, like, or what they're here for Trinidad, so we could get a sense of what the room wants to talk about, and we would learn to know each other a little bit. And so I'm Cy, and I bought land here about 40 years ago and moved here about 30 years ago and fell in love with Trinidad, and I'm really honored to be your mayor and to bring us all together as a community and do good things. Okay, your turn.
I'm Bethany Costa. I'm a small business owner. I do most of my work actually in Huerfano County. So my big thing of being here today is this is the county I live, and I want to do more here in my own county where I live. And this is my daughter, Casey May. Hi.
John Peebles, a recent arrival. I'm an advocate for homeless and unhomed, and that's I came here. I was in the area before in an RV, so I love the beauty of the area.
Margaret Apodaca, a native of Trinidad and a resident of Trinidad for 46 years on Goding Avenue.
Julie Morris, moved here about 10 years from Oklahoma, live next door to Margaret. Interested in the unhoused situation and attention to the community part that's north of the river.
Catherine Hawk, I'm involved in the community theater. I moved here about 08, originally from Indiana, like Cy. You're originally from
Chicago and Northern
Indiana. Right. And I'm just interested in the outdoors and the history and the theater and the whole street of theater.
Travis Nelson, candidate for Colorado Senate District 35. honored and here to serve all of you.
I'm Andrea Jimenez, lived here most of my life. One of my focus areas is the children in our community and having enough for them. I also work with the Catholic Church.
My name is Lisa Rose. I moved down here, it'll be 5 years in April. And I love it. I absolutely love it here. I'm from Denver originally. My friends will ask me, small town, aren't you bored? And I say, no. There's so much going on. The people are friendly. They actually wave at you, and they use all 5 fingers.
Joni Steiner, I'm the director of Earth Mountain Education Farm. We've been operating here under kind of environmental education, empowering the children, and also food access and food security. We run the 2 urban farms in town and an outdoor education center west out of Weston. So food access, food security, self-reliance, those type of things for our community to build stronger, and education.
I'm Kat Serrato with Keep Trinidad Safe. I'm the Program Services Supervisor. We are a resource hub that helps mostly with substance use disorder, the unhoused, and anybody that really needs help with anything. And we're here just to gather resources and information.
I'm Jeremy Machoni. I'm also with Keep Trinidad Safe, the operations manager and co-founder of Keep Trinidad Safe. Also on the board of directors for Trinidad Community Foundation.
I'm Jennifer Stewart. This is my husband Dylan. We moved here in December 2024 from Houston, Texas. We are now proud members of the community, and we're here just to learn about the community and where we might be able to help out.
I'm Derek Thomas. I've been here for 10 years. I'm on HPC, I'm on Tura. My passion is saving these buildings in Trinidad. I'm also on the literary festival committee, whatever, poet, author, and historian.
I'm Jason Gould. I'm a peer support specialist with Keep Trinidad Safe as well. Same thing, resources, information, things we can take back and provide the community with.
I'm Dan. I've been a resident for 5 years from Denver, and I'm just here to observe primarily.
All right,
Okay, I guess me. My name is Camilla Campbell. I used to be a business owner here in Trinidad. I sold. I was born and raised in Trinidad, Colorado. I haven't lived here all my life, but most of my life I have. And I am part of the Farmers Market Board that we do every summer. There you go.
Hi, Candace Meza. I'm the Executive Director of the Trinidad Community Foundation, and we're here to gather information and look for opportunities to provide health, wellness, education, opportunities for all of our youth and community members.
Jackie, same.
I'm Sarah Mestis-Urbina. I'm a lifelong member of this community, living on the outskirts of the town up Highway 12. And I'm here today for concerns about the safety of our children in this community from sexual predators and fentanyl.
I'm Elizabeth Kelly. I've been in Trinidad about 7 years, and I'm just wondering if you could give a quick update on the Tree Steward program.
I'm Tracy Wall, and I've been here about 7 years as well. I'm an artist and connected with the Corazon Gallery on Main Street. I also sometimes write for the World Journal, wear a lot of different hats. So interested to hear what everyone's interested in.
I'm Kim Rossetti. Yeah, this happens to be my husband. But I've been in the community since the late '79. Worked for the school district for 20 years. My heart and passion is with students, safety, and the community as a whole. That's good. And we're also small business owners and members of the Chamber of Commerce. So.
Dan Rossetti,
City Council. I've been a resident for 65 years, all my life. And when I ran, I promised to listen to the people, and that's what I'm doing every day.
Hi, my name is Larissa Bolva. I moved here a couple years ago from Denver. I have a background in public policy, community development, violence prevention, and drug policy. Just wanted to meet the folks at Trinidad, see how I can get involved and how gather resources. My concerns are the homelessness issue, drug policy reform, fentanyl crisis, public safety for children, affordable living families, housing affordability.
My name is Mary Patina, and I'm a resident of Trinidad, interested in finding out what's going on.
Excuse me, keep my voice going. I'm Patty Bean. I am retired military, retired school teacher from here in Trinidad. I've been here for 14 years. Vice chair of the Los Angeles County Republican Party. And I'm just here to listen and have an interest in the homeless community and whatever else is going on.
Good afternoon. My name is Yolanda Romero. I am presently serving and volunteer with the Trinidad Los Angeles County Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. I also serve on the Southern Colorado Coal Miners Memorial and Scholarship Fund, instrumental since 1988, and still instrumental in working with our project titled the Southern Colorado Coal Miners Memorial Outdoor Center. And continuing one more phase with the city, we're hoping to complete so that that whole park that you see across from here complements the city and will be worthwhile and left here for residents for years to come. I continue to be involved with all of that. I'm a local business person and mother of two, grandmother of two, and support anything to do with children and their parents, and also helping wherever we can. Thank you for this, and thank you for what the city has done, you know, for all of what you see, all the changes that are taking place, and appreciate being a part of the new folks that are here and what they would like to see and do with the rest of us. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Jenny Cordillo. I'm a lifelong resident of Trinidad. I'm a retired registered nurse and I'm a college instructor. I have also served previously on the city council and as a mayor. And so I'm here today just because I'm interested in hearing what others have to say, what their interests are, and maybe in which way we would like to move.
Hello, everyone. I'm Rebecca Romero, daughter of Yolanda, niece of Jenny. I'm a native, and I've lived here off and on for most of my life. I guess maybe half. And I'm just here to listen.
My name is Tanas. I'm a reporter and journalist with the Chronicle News. Been here since about 2023.
My name is Jerry Campbell. I've lived here since '77. I'm married to Camilla. I've been an appraiser for the last 20 years or so. And my interest is in any tourism-related activities that help promote local business.
I'm Christopher Spain. This is my wife Sherry. She asked me to speak first. She doesn't like talking. Big crowds. Seventh, Planning and Zoning Commission. I'm also an instructor down here at Trinidad State in the Technology Department. And I'm here today to talk about a project I'd like to help y'all with. It's an incorporation between the college and the city. I just need the ability to continue to move forward with it. I'd like to give that to y'all. Sure. And I know that this has a later time where we'll meet in person and she's out, but I just thought it was time to bring this to y'all. So I appreciate y'all taking up this opportunity. Nice to meet you.
Hi, I'm Luann Peters. Been here full time about 4 years from Texas. Absolutely love it here. I'm here today because I think this is an awesome idea. I want to hear the rest of the community's input, see what the issues are, and identify maybe any volunteer opportunities.
My name is Tim Peters. I've been here 24 years. I've had multiple businesses through the years, now on city council. And we are desperately trying to come up with ideas to make Trinidad better. You might not see it in the meetings, but in the background, we're all scrambling for ideas. So I'm hoping we sit and listen and we get some good ideas that's going to help Trinidad move into the future. Thank you.
My name is Ann Nash. I've been here for about 13 years. And I'm here, I would like to hear what everybody has to say, what interests there are.
Hi, I'm Christine Loudon. I'm the Executive Director of Emerging Campus. I was born here, left for 30 years. I'm really happy to be here to serve. And I'm here today specifically to support increased communication and greater community efforts.
Hi, my name is Joseph. I'm the colleague of Christine, working for Emerging Campus, and what she said.
I'm Joyce Miller, and I've been living here for about 11 years, and I just came to see what everybody has to say.
I'm Rhonda Zamora. I'm also at the college, and I just came to see what everybody had to say and kind of voice my opinions on our kids getting their parks back, the drug issues, and our housing situations that we have in our community.
Hi, my name is Debbie Berry. I've been here since 1997. I'm a Texas transplant. Don't hold that against me. And I've worked with several organizations in the community, sat on several boards, and just feel that it's time to get more deeply involved in what's transpiring. My major issues, or that's not the right word, but what I'm most interested in is getting the community working with the county, and not only that, but involving our youth in everything that we are doing here today and any other events that we might have, because they are our future, and without them, we are nothing.
My name is Steve Merchant, born and raised here, been here about 30 years. Over the past 2 or 3 years, I've been working with elected officials, business owners, and members of the community to try to make Trinidad a safe place again, a healthy place again, and I don't really intend to stop that mission until kids can play a park safely.
Hi, I'm Marky Davis. I'm the local owner of the State Park Office, small business owner, and also the president of the Trinidad Los Angeles County Chamber of Commerce. I'm really here to listen, but to see where we can all work together and work with the city to make it a more comfortable and more supportive environment for our businesses.
Laura Aiello, I'm chair of Mount Carmel Community Wellness Center, also run the Five Star Bank here. Basically, I just wanted to kind of get a community collaboration and how all the organizations can actually work together and make a better team.
My name is Peyton Creech. I have been in Trinidad for 5 years, but my family is from here. So I've been coming out here much longer than that. I own Beauty Trinidad, coffee roaster on Main Street, and I am on the Main Street Board and the Colorado Creative Industries Summit Planning Committee. I'm here to see what the community at large has to say, and I have a few things that I'd like to talk about with downtown safety issues.
About what?
Downtown safety issues.
Yes.
Erica?
Erica Gonzalez, I'm the systems coordinator
We'd like to introduce a couple of our staff members that are here. Victor, if you could start, please.
Hi, I'm Greg Harris, City Cadet. I facilitate the center and church.
Hi everyone, thanks for coming. I'm Veronica Mays. I am the city communication, community relations person, as well as the executive director of Create Trinidad, our creative district, and Main Street.
Hi, I'm Tracy Rolls. I am the police chief.
I'm Dave Becker. I'm the retired chief. Mike Kovanovich, the patrol lieutenant.
I'm Nathan, I'm a taxpayer.
Welcome, Nathan. Madam Mayor, you ready to get started?
Sure. Well, first thing I want to say, what a great group of people. I mean, you know, this is community. I'm really charged to have it. I don't know how we want to pick a topic to start.
Why don't we have a hand raised if you have a question right off the bat, and let's start with that topic. And then we'll go around trees, you said.
Program.
Tree what?
Stewards.
Tree steward program. Can you describe what that is for us?
Well, some time ago, in the last year or two, I think it was, we were going to have a volunteer tree steward program.
Okay.
I think, Karen?
Yes.
So I may just be out of the blue, but I just wondered if we're still doing.
So we are a Tree City USA. We have completed our application for this year. We will be advertising for new seats on the Urban Forestry Board, and it would be the Urban Forestry Board, which doesn't have any seated members right now that would handle the tree stewardship program. We'll be hiring a new horticulture specialist this spring, and they would oversee the Urban Forestry Board. For those of you who have never served on a city board, we've got a couple of members here from urban renewal, from historic preservation, from planning and zoning, from art and culture. So if you're interested in serving on a board, please, they called out their boards as they introduced themselves. Please introduce yourself to them. Camilla served for years on a board as well. I hope that answers your question.
So it's to be developed.
It is to be developed. It doesn't exist right now, but thank you for bringing it up and putting it on our radar. Margaret?
I have a question for the new government. If possibly the city ordinances specifically would be more adhered to. And I'm specifically talking about the weed ordinance.
Okay.
And sidewalk cleaning. We talk about the tourists coming into town. Our town is beautiful.
Right.
But all the time the weeds are 3 feet high, even though there's an ordinance. City sidewalks are not kept up.
You're absolutely right, and that is one that me and Tara are working on right
What
now
I was
because
there is I live on Gauding Avenue, the 300 block,
Okay.
and I just brought a couple of examples. The old Amato building usually has 3-foot weeds. When they cut them down, they don't clean them up. They dry up. We can't walk on the sidewalks. The sidewalks covered with a pile of dirt. It's just that type of thing is my interest. And also the graffiti. There's also an ordinance against graffiti. And it is up to the residents to take the graffiti off within a certain amount of days, not the city takes action. Same with the weeds. But it doesn't seem as though it's enforced as much, those two, as they possibly could be.
no.
So for those of you who couldn't hear Margaret, she's talking about code enforcement. In particular, weeds, sidewalks. I could throw junk cars in there. We could talk about graffitis, trees, a variety of issues that exist within our neighborhoods and our commercial areas. Did anyone else want to comment on that one? Yes, ma'am. Tracy, hi.
Yeah, there are some stumps on Main Street, trees that have been cut down, presumably by the city. There's one in front of the Corazon Gallery, and it's been there for months. So I'm just wondering, what's the plan? You go check it out. It's probably 3 foot tall. It's just a stump.
I remember the day it came down.
It was
We'll
like
look
3
into
months
it.
ago, yeah.
It was.
Thanks, Tracy, for bringing that forward. That's the kind of little pieces that we need because there's only so many eyes. I really think.
So I've heard in the media lately that people have been getting assaulted at Chimino Park.
Okay.
What is the city going to do to protect our kids and families from wanting to go to the parks? You can't go to the picnic tables and have lunch with your kids. You can't use the restrooms. You can't play, what's that, Oki or whatever that game is right there? Bocce, I
Bocce ball.
Yeah, you can't do any of that stuff because of the drug addicts and the homeless that are there, and they threaten you, they talk vulgar to you. Trying when the bathrooms aren't open, you can't get in there because they're shooting up or they're doing drugs in there or they're passed out in there.
So unfortunately, we have closed the public bathrooms, both on Commercial Street and Chimino Park. They are open for special events, but we have closed them just as a safety issue during the day. At one point in time, we did have those open. We are exploring our options.
But see, I feel that that's not fair, that they're the cause that closed it.
For sure.
Because if you have kids have to go to the restroom. Where are you gonna take them? They're gonna have to leave and then come back, and it's kind of sad.
And this old man walking through town, we gotta use the bathroom too.
Thanks, Derek.
And didn't we spend a lot of money on those bathrooms on Commercial Street for them to be closed down?
We did, and they are closed down. We are implementing a new camera system that will give us a little bit more visibility on what's going on there. I can't speak from a law enforcement background, but I do work alongside law enforcement officials. They're here. You can't be in one place 24 hours a day. So if we sweep through the park, and I know this isn't going to answer your question, and it may not completely address what your concern is. What I want to illustrate to you is that we understand the concern, and we are working towards solutions toward it. I guarantee you, if you have police officers sweep through the park, there will not be an issue there. As soon as they turn around and walk away, there may be an issue there. We can't be there 24/7. We've got to start changing the culture.
Trespassing and then start arresting them.
So you can't trespass someone off of a public space. So some of this is clarity of law, right? The parks are public spaces. We're not able to trespass them off. Let's say you've got a vacant building and you've got an inhabited building. That owner of the inhabited building can trespass anyone off their property, but you can't trespass someone off property that's not yours. So just want to divide the line between public space and private space and how the trespass laws work. We also can't do, as I've learned from our police force, we can't just search you, right? We can't just walk up and say, you look like you might be drunk, so we're going to search you today, right? We're going to need to have reasons and certain conditions under which we can. For example, loitering and how that's described in state law. Loitering in the park seems like an easy fix, correct? Well, loitering only works if you're actually blocking public space like a roadway or like a doorway where people have a public right to access. Just hanging out in the park doesn't actually qualify as loitering. I'm counting on Police Chief or Lieutenant Tonovich to correct me when I stray from the actual, I'm getting a thumbs up, okay? So I don't want to, these aren't excuses. What we're saying is that we're studying the issue. We brought on Police Chief, he started November 3rd, so we're not even 90 days in. I want to say that we're going to have some exciting things coming up from that aspect of our municipal responsibility. We're looking at kind of a reorganization in how we approach patrol and how we approach this particular issue. But I have learned from Chief Rolls to quote this: we cannot enforce our way out of this program. I think I heard a lot of people in this room that are actually working on this issue. So it's got to be a combination of approaches, not just enforcement. There have to be services. There have to be other things that go with it. But drugs in and of itself, we have a pretty robust program, and we're hoping to continue it. I know I didn't answer your question, but maybe I gave you some context. Mayor, did you want to add?
Well, I guess what is really most important to me is, first of all, I want to give way to Keep Trinidad Safe and our DHS system, who literally help so much of our community. It's really touching what Keep Trinidad Safe does. But in regards to the public, in regards to kids playing in the park, we got it. I'm all about our youth. I'm pushing everything forward as much as we can do to get that park safe. We're going to be doing it. Do I want to help unhouse that need it? You bet. I help unhouse almost every single day in a different fashion, including employing them. But they have to stand up to wanting to be part of our community, not hurting it. And I think everybody here that is affiliated, that knows Keep Trinidad Safe, I honor what they do
so much. I mean, literally, I welcome all of you to go to that office and see what they do for our community. But where needles in our park and youth or animals are concerned, I am very, very lividly upset because it shouldn't be about 80 people on the river when we have 8,000 plus people here. But do I want to help? Yes. It is unacceptable to think that we help and they don't help to do their part. Now I'm going to tell you, that's a little small sliver of it. Because I can tell you people like day and night, no matter if we've never seen them, but these people keep Trinidad safe, help them every single day. It's so beautiful. Please help support Keep Trinidad Safe. But where the parks and cleanliness are, I'm upset about it.
Thank you.
Just to follow up on that, Keep Trinidad Safe works very closely with Chief Bacharach and the city of Trinidad, and of course it's not going to resolve the problems immediately, but you know, those that want to change and want to go somewhere else where their support system is, and so a lot of the house we've actually helped them, assist them, and by working with the city and they Bacharach to get them placement whether it's up north or out of state or where they have a better support system. So we've been actually working on trying to get that, and it's day by day. So every little bit that we can.
I do want to add, though, that Terra has already started to form, hasn't done it, but we're a table for everybody, including Keep Trinidad Safe and the police department and everybody in a round table, so that we that are the stewards of all this can put our heads together and know that if something happens in the park here, what can Keep Trinidad Safe do? What can DHS do? So that is forming in the background.
And I would just like to give a shout out to Erica. That roundtable exists, and Marcy. We're interested in sitting at that table with you guys. Mayor Gardino?
I wasn't sure if it was. I just want to follow up on some of those comments on the park.
Okay.
In particular, the Central Park. I utilize that a lot. I'm there a lot. I walk a lot, and I'm there pretty often. And I see a lot of families come with their children for the play park right there, the swings and stuff. And so the question I have is why the restrooms why they're limiting the hours that the restrooms are open and available. I've seen little children there needing to go to the bathroom and crying because, well, they close it early in the afternoon, and so they go many times after school to play there, and there's no access to either one of those restrooms there. That park, even in the winter time, is utilized a lot, and so there's always children there on the nice days, and so, you know, I asked the question, well, why are they on the weekends? It's closed altogether.
Sure.
And I asked the question, well, why are they doing this? Why is it closed at 3 o'clock in the afternoon? It's open like for 2 hours a day there. And I was told because the city doesn't want to pay the overtime so that the workers can go and close them at certain hours. Whether that's true or not, I mean, I don't question that at all, but I'm questioning why you know, this is being done.
I'll look into that. I felt like Central Park was open more than you've described, so let me look into that. And thank you for
There's
bringing it
signs on the door,
forward.
on the restroom doors.
I will share with you that if that's not the reason if we close them, it's been a security reason more than anything.
I think so.
Yeah, thank you. Joni?
It's not an answer, but I want to let, especially concerned about the kids and things like that. It's one of the reasons we moved on creating a more managed park space that was developed on Cedar Street. Everyone said, oh, it's going to be slip, it's going to be homeless, it's going to get broken into, you know, they're going to hop the fence, they're going to steal everything. That hasn't happened, and it is a managed space that's open for the children and families. So it's right across the street, but it's managed by a nonprofit. It was a private donor of the land. We lease that land, we have certain hours, and we only have the gate open when there is somebody on site for the kids to be in. We also have an internship program that pays the kids to grow the food and all of the compost there. Everything is edible. So as for an alternative space for the time being, in creating more managed safe spaces, we need public spaces. You know, I don't think we want to take away our public spaces and put fences and say it's going to be a managed space and have that management overhead, you know, because there's a lot of overhead with personnel with that. But just to satisfy where can kids go, especially that teenage population that is such at risk, we actually are hiring them, 14 and up, to be a part of that space. They run their own market there, and they're actually providing food to this community. So you know.
Thank you for joining us. That's excellent. Camilla?
I'm going to go different gear here now. As a business owner for many years on Main Street and definitely now on Commercial, and the snowstorm is coming this weekend. All right. It's amazing how even the handicap walkways are not cleaned with snow.
Okay.
In front of Curly's, it was never cleaned. Big snowstorm, parking the cars. You can't park the cars on Commercial or Main Street because when the city plows, and I hate to say this, come by, they throw all the snow right there in the parking area, and no one could even get out of the car or climb over the car. I would love to see something different happen with that. I'm not with Curly's anymore, but those handicap spaces need to be cleaned. I mean, there was so many times I went and cleaned it myself that it was.
And just for clarity, Camilla, you're talking about this parking spaces, not the sidewalk, or are you talking about both?
Parking lot, parking spaces, you know.
Okay.
But you can't climb over anything because then when you do shovel the sidewalk, there is a big hill here, and then you got the big hill on the side. And I'm going to address the homeless too when we do farmers market. I don't think I had to call the cops one time this past summer. They leave because we're there. The children are playing in the water park. The children are playing in the park, and I've never had, I have called them occasionally, maybe once a year since I've been in farmers market, but it's not a big deal. They disappear. My business is very dirty down there. You know, we always walk our people down to the restroom. My vendors walk each other. There's always somebody or one of the guys walking with them, but it is very dirty down there. Yeah, they need power wash that sucker a little bit more often. But anyway, I just wanted to spend that because they do disappear when the farmers market come here Saturday. So I've never had, I didn't call the cops this year, not once. So I just wanted everybody to know that. Not that there is not an issue, there is definitely an issue.
Travis and then Megan, second.
You know, I think our state legislature did our communities, our law enforcement, and all of us a disservice when they defelonized hard drugs. When I'm elected, I would be happy to introduce a bill to refelonize hard drugs.
Yeah.
That would do a lot for our community.
Yes.
Megan, did you have a question?
What I came to talk about, kind of piggyback off of what Camilla was saying, all of the crosswalks this last snowstorm were covered with ice. And the on-ramps, or not, whatever they're called, and snow that had been moved from the trucks clearing the streets. The crosswalk in front of Mutiny, 135 East Main, Mutiny Simpsons Market, and Shirley's, that middle section got cleared out the first go-round and then re-piled onto. So even if you can get from the sidewalk into the street, in the middle of the street, you are stopped with ice and snow piled.
Okay.
That crosswalk is incredibly dangerous. People almost get hit all the time. One of Shirley's employees got hit by an SUV whose clearance, their truck was so tall that they couldn't see the crosswalk sign or the person. As a Main Street board, we've come to City Council and we've talked about what we would like to see there, specifically a flashing crosswalk sign. And in addition to that, every crosswalk on Commercial Street needs to be painted and marked as such. Right now, what exists is a different kind of stone. And if you're not from here, that doesn't mean anything to you, because it's also a different kind of stone for manhole covers and stuff like that. And then the rest of the crosswalks down Main need to be repainted badly, and they need to be very clearly marked. This is a beautiful historic downtown district. We want so many tourists to come and enjoy their time here, and if they can't safely cross our streets, that's crazy. And just as a little side note, I would love to see the tree lights left up all year.
Me too.
Thank you. The tree lights will be up year-round. We plan to freshen the lights on Main in June. We are looking at Commercial Street needs something similar. We're kind of looking at what those options might be, and hopefully by the holiday seasons next year we'll have that. I remember when Trish Keck was hit in that crosswalk years ago. It's pretty devastating. Yes, ma'am.
First off, I just want to apologize if I'm a little emotional during this topic. But I just wanted to know if the city had any plans of providing resources or guidance as to keeping our children safe from sexual predators in this area. It seems that they are not receiving the convictions, they're not being disciplined, they're not being held accountable for sexual assault on children in this community. They, a lot of the time, end up being repeat offenders, and this topic has specifically affected my children. I have been in a battle for 7 years now in regards to this, and I just want to know if the community is going to provide some sort of inside resources, anything they can to victims' mothers, to help them fight in court. Not everybody can afford an attorney when it comes to family law. And so I think it's really important that our community could do something to teach the people that can't afford attorneys, here's how you can fight, here's how you can file, here's what you can do. Because, like I said, this has directly affected my family for way too many years. I was just in the courthouse again yesterday for someone who is a convicted sexual offender. He is a registered sexual offender for life for being a pedophile. And I'm still to this day fighting every single day, trying to find every resource I can think of to help our kids. And someone needs to help us. This is the United States of America. This isn't the right thing to do, to just let stuff like this happen every day to innocent people. We need help.
First, let me thank you for speaking out. That's such a difficult topic to say. Second, let me say on behalf of myself, City Council, I'm so sorry that you are facing this. We absolutely can help and assist as a partner in developing these resources, and I would like to follow up with you separately on this particular topic. Do you want to add anything, Mayor? Is that good?
No, I know, sir.
Okay.
It's tough.
I will be glad to visit with you separately about what you think is missing.
Thank you.
Okay.
I
Yes,
just
ma'am.
want to say it's not just this community, it's the whole state of Colorado.
It is.
Maybe Mr. Nelson can help.
It is, but you know what, for me, just one little small tiny member, that's the only thing I can think where to start, is in my community, because I've tried other things. I've tried emailing, the Attorney General to go through the state to do things like that, and it's like an automated generated email that comes back to you. We'll look into it. Meanwhile, during that time, another one of my children was sexually assaulted by the same family. So I can't just sit back every day and wait for something else to happen to my kids. And nor do I want that to happen to anyone else's children. It's not right. And we need help.
Okay. Thank you so much for speaking out on that. Thank you for being brave enough to do that.
Thank you.
Okay.
I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce this project a little bit more, especially considering a lot of us have been talking about it. So my project is specifically concerning community safety, public safety. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to form a partnership between the city. I'll be speaking more to the city later. I'll make a meeting with y'all and we'll come talk about a big.
Okay.
But now I just want to get y'all's support. I work down at the college, so it's my job to try and help my students. And I'm also a commissioner on planning and zoning, so I feel it's my job to try and help the community. I love this community. I love our leadership. I thank y'all very much. it seems like this is a meeting point where both these things that I got going on interact. Because what I do down at the college is I work with computers and networking and all that great stuff. And I feel like to put a monitoring system on the public areas. I feel like to put sensors down there that would light pathways as you walk along. I feel like I put cameras down there that could be remotely accessed by the department. And also, if the city authorized it by the city. That would create this great big network, and it would be full of all this awesome technology. Great sensors. All this is great for my students, and it's great for my college. And what we would do is we would create two sides of this. One would be a public-facing platform that the city would have control over, and the students would never be allowed anywhere near that. But we would create a private-facing platform that would be private for the college, and it would be a cybersecurity networking obstacle course, where the students would be able to attack the system, defend the system, set up different types of layouts, different topologies, use different sensors, change the settings, find out how the stuff really works. This would prepare them to be better. They would go into the workforce being ready to do what they're really here to do, not just book smarts. This is hands-on stuff. This would help my school. This college would definitely be better off. I spoke to them already, and I got the opportunity to be here. Thanks to them saying this was a good deal. It would give the public back these public areas. You know, my wife, she likes to watch those live camera feeds. And there's some amazing places out there. The funny thing is they don't have junk like this out there. It's amazing. I watch them for quite a bit. Those are some safe places. And I believe the reason why they're safe is because they have a system like this in place. I'm not talking about surveilling anybody or doing anything nonsensical like that. I'm simply talking about giving our public safety back to the people in our public areas and maybe addressing some of these problems. I mean, I understand we've got problems. We've got problems coming out of our ears. But we need some solutions.
Thank you, Chris. Candace.
Hey, I have a question about the Trinidad Community Center.
Sure.
I feel like it is a location that is underused.
Yep.
I know at one time there was talk of an indoor pool for the outdoor pool that we have now. But I've been here for 10 years and people ask me, is there anywhere that I can go and walk indoors?
Sure.
Unless you want a gym membership, you could go to Walmart and, walk around. The availability for our youth. I know the skate park was just upgraded. I've been to some of the softball games with the dirt blowing 100 miles an hour. I was just wondering if you have any plans or any, suggestions of how that space can be used more as a community center and engage our youth and our seniors.
So there are some discussions going on about how we expand the sports options. We're going to need to work with the school district to do that and kind of figure out where our lane's going to be in the youth sports so that we can start expanding that. The community center itself is 50 years old this year. I just found out in one of these meetings regarding the community center that was built in 1975. So, how do we make it more modern? How do we make it more accessible? How do we expand the uses to meet the youth of today is definitely an internal staff discussion. We aren't ready yet to present to City Council, but we'll have something this year as we're starting to rethink about how we use it.
I want to include the senior population in that
Sure.
too, not just the youth.
Sure.
I feel like there could be a lot more activity and opportunity for them to get out and participate.
Yeah, that place was built in the wrong place, kind of, because people forget
is
about it.
built-
But I just want to add, in our community, Mount Carmel Community Center is part of our community, and they do
Right.
seniors and youth program. But I also, where youth is concerned, and it's dabbling in and out, but we haven't had a talk about that. We did do a proclamation a couple of weeks ago with the City of Trinidad pledging that this year there will be lots of new youth boards and youth entanglements, so you will see them in almost everything that we do in the city here this year. So that part's really exciting for me because I, like most of you, I imagine, understand that our future is our children. And if we don't start building leaders now, who's going to take away when we go, right? We need to help build them now. Victor.
I just wanted to say we did partner up with Mount Carmel and the already different events. They partnered with the movie screening. We did a movie screening last week. We have a state competition coming up. Our show coming up. So there's no partnering up with a lot of events.
What you may not have heard Victor say is that my voice is louder than his, is that Space to Create, which is the space Victor is managing on behalf of the city, is partnering with Mount Carmel to do a lot of youth, senior, other types of programming here at the space. Veronica, and then I want to kind of recap some.
I know I work here, but I'm also a resident
Sure.
and taxpayer, so I have a question just regarding the new change in, I guess, city leadership. There are a lot of things that I feel like Trinidad has going for it. And I've also heard people say, oh, we need to think of new ideas. This new leadership, have you all had the opportunity to have any discussion about leveraging what is actually working well here in order to better, I guess, to get more out of it? So whether it be tourism or public spaces or youth, like, have you guys had that conversation and what ideas might be coming out of that?
So we're starting conversations. This new council's been hit straight up front with some pretty serious issues of dealing with, but we have a series of work sessions that will get into some of that. I'm looking forward, and you're giving me the segue I know you probably didn't get your full question answered, but I'm happy to follow up on how we're leveraging what's going on in the city now. We talked about trees, code enforcement, public safety, downtown, aesthetics, clean, code enforcement in the downtown, safety for youth, and the community center. I was curious, I wanted to throw a topic out before we get to the closure. I was surprised jobs didn't come up. Anybody want to talk about jobs? That is a priority for the new council. In all of our initial onboarding, every single one of them mentioned jobs being critical. So,
like I said, I'll be here 5 years, and I absolutely love it here, but my main problem has been able to work. I had no idea how hard it was going to be to work in this town. So, I mean, fortunately, I'm with a CSAP program, which has helped support me through these years. I'm working through that. But, you know, I have a fabulous job in Denver, and I thought, oh, I don't have to make that kind of money down there, it'll be fine. But I've had a terrible time trying to find a position. And when I first moved here, it was a whole different atmosphere. The mine was up and running. And, I mean, we don't want to really bring in a huge industry and ruin the small town feel, per se. But
I have to add in that my project will help this as well, I believe. This field is booming right now. You'd be amazed. What I'm interested in is a partnership with the city to put the project out public to drive interest in not only the college and bring more students to the college, but also to create a job market that doesn't exist here. This is top notch. Not only will it create that job market, but these students that are graduating from me will be able to stay here and work remotely if they can't get a position here. They'll still be able to work remotely, and their tax money and their families will still stay here with us. They'll no longer have to leave.
Thank you, Chris. I'm sorry, Mayor, I interrupted you.
I was just going to say, the economy of downtown Trinidad has been really bad for the last 2 years. So when you get a bad economy, then people start spending less money to clean it up, and then they have less employees, and before you know it. So it is in our plan to clean up downtown, and we're looking for jobs for the community all over, seriously, online and in the industrial park, and what we need to do there too.
Before we leave this topic, I want to just give Christine and Joseph an opportunity to speak about Emergent Campus. On July 1st, this last summer, both the county and the city kind of agreed to a gentleman's agreement to work with Emergent Campus as our economic development arm, while we're still, both county and city, working on developing our own economic development strategies. Christine, would you like to say a few things? What you're doing?
Yes, so we are working with the city and county to have a strategic, thoughtful approach about economic development and how we bring in new jobs, attract new businesses, but also help our existing businesses be strong so they can hire people like you. Primarily, Emerging Campus is a tech-based initiative. So when Christopher says he's training, he wants to give the Trinidad State CIS students work experience here in this town so then they can build their resume and stay here and be successful or go and get a good job. He knows what he's talking about. That's the exact kind of initiative that we are trying to support. And it's a complex problem. Like you said, how do our businesses hire more people when we don't have enough tourists come in to support that business? And how do we bring in more business if we don't have the housing for people to live? So it's a wonderful challenge to be able to work with leadership like this to try to address. And it's going to take all of us to do it. So that's why I'm really here today to hear what people's ideas are so we can take this on board and build a strong economic development strategy.
Thank you.
And I just wanted to, Trinidad State College, and when it was junior college, was so wonderful that our community had it. But I'll tell you what, when you guys have taken Trinidad State College up now, the programs, the robotics, and all the stuff you guys are doing there, Emerging Campus, if you're not aware of it, you need to, because they are investing in our town, and us having a partnership with Trinidad State College and having it in our town is such an incredible amenity right now. And thank you for all that you're doing. It is incredible.
Can I just say?
Okay.
Whoever wants to, 612 Park Street, you're welcome to come by and stop for a coffee. If you have an idea, we have currently 4.5 startups and 12 co-workers that work from our space. If you want to engage in any way, shape, we got a grant from the Veteran Foundation to do a communication survey with the city and the county. One would be tailored towards the businesses to understand better what are your needs, where do you need help? Because also with the transition of the Chamber of Commerce and figuring out their structure in the city, a lot of support is necessary on that side. And the other one is going to be a communication survey for us, for the community, to express how do we want to get our communication. Like, is that the method how we can access communication, how we can be weekly, daily informed of what's happening, and how can we step together to make the change?
Okay, I saw a couple more hands, but we're at time, and I want to honor the time, and I do have a last question that we need feedback from you from, but I want to let you know that the mayor and I are going to be here for a few minutes, so if your question didn't get answered, please come forward and visit with us.
And this will be monthly.
Our vision was to do this once a month. Our vision is to do it at different times of day. We wanted to see what we garnered at noon. It looks like we did pretty well. I got the count at 51. So Councilmember Peters is here, Councilmember Rossetti, and Mayor Michaels. So can you let us know, do you like this format? I see a lot of shaking hands, yes?
Yes.
Okay. Can you just shout out, no need to raise your hand, what would you change about this?
Once a week.
Can't do that, Jerry.
1 hour bi-weekly slot of 5 minutes one-on-one, because sometimes it's better to have a one-on-one.
Okay, one-on-ones are better. Kim?
something that we can all hear everybody better.
Okay,
And
sound.
answer other questions.
You need sound?
Yes.
Okay. Sound, one-on-one. Okay, so we're gonna do this again in February. Veronica, do you happen to have the date handy?
No.
Okay, that's okay. You're gonna be looking on Facebook. That's how we're getting it out. Mayor and council will discuss kind of how we like this format. We'll always do an elected and a staff member.
It's the 18th.
February the 18th. Right now, we have it scheduled for 6 p.m. So how does everybody feel about that, weather permitting? Okay, we'll see how we do at 6. And then we plan to bring it back to noon in March. So thank you for coming. This was live streamed. If you want to review the entire thing again, Tom, where can they find the live stream?
Trinidad Times TV 71 on YouTube.
Okay, Trinidad Times TV 71 on YouTube. Thank you to Mr. Murphy for always coming. Thank you to our city council members, our mayor, and thank you to staff. And thank you to all of you. Mayor, you want to close this up?
Just really, I wish we had 5 hours together, because this is what's important, and for us to be reminded, knowing so many different things that are going on in the community, what's most important to you so that we can move forward together. And if you have any other ideas about youth, you're going to see a whole lot of stuff come out with youth this year, because we are excited about it with the city being able to start a lot of youth programs and boards. So thank you all for coming. Please come back. Please reach out if you have another idea that wasn't expressed here. And Terry and